Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and we're just about to start a new month in Hearthstone, a new season, or maybe by the time you're watching this, it's already begun. And I thought, you know what, let's give you guys some updated decks, because I wasn't planning on doing this until the early access brawl, but quite a bit has changed, not only in standard with the pretty minor balance change, but wild, where there were quite large balance changes. So I thought I'd give you guys some decks that you can take to reasonably expect to climb, whether it's silver, gold, platinum, diamond, or legend. And I want to remind you guys, we still have our giveaway going on for 2 regular pre-orders and 2 mega bundles for the upcoming Cataclysm expansion. To enter that giveaway, like and comment in the video, link down description below, the one with that thumbnail over there. Be subscribed to the channel every 1,000 subs we get until that rewards track refresh goes live. We'll add another mega bundle. So hit that sub button and make me go broke. And disclaimer on this, by the way, we are expecting a major balance patch on March 10th, right? When a week before the expansion goes live. And of course, rotation will occur on March 17th, new expansion. So please don't craft any of this stuff if you don't have it. Try and wait, or craft Elise, because she's getting nerfed and you'll get your dust back on Elise if you don't have her yet already. So speaking of her, you're gonna see a lot of her. Elise Demon Hunter seems to just be the best deck in the game, where you resummon Blobatars with your Ravenous Fell Hunter, Return Policy, a Broxigar. By the way, Axe of Cenarius is bugged again. How did that happen? And yeah, you could get a Broxigar in the late game for burst. You got Zeliax for healing, 1 Illidari for your Elise, but you can like couple it up with an Elise copy of the Climbing Hook to just give you a ton of damage. This deck is just obnoxious as hell, and I really hope something gets done about Blob Ravenous. But until then, if you got the cards, give it a go. It is definitely one of the best decks out there and should help you out on your climb. Next, I just saw this. I'm not saying this is top tier, but I did see this trending really well. At Legend, Diamond through Legend, it's just no Minion Demon Hunter. It seems to be doing all right. The whole Eternal Hold thing, got the Hounds of Fury that could push a bunch of damage, Solitude, discover minions, get mana cheat on more minions, and you got Emergency Meeting, which got buffed, which probably helped this deck out, right? Play that on 1 with like a headhunt, and you can like Solitude and cheat them out. So this deck is actually improved with the recent buffs, and it's really fun. So I thought I would recommend it. The win rate seemed pretty solid, and give it a go if you got the cards. As you all know, Dragon Warrior, really good. A big part of that is the recent addition of just, I laugh. I was just looking at 4 mana. It's here. It's 7 mana. Prescient Slither Drake is just ridiculous for 4 mana, especially when it gets buffed by cards like Gift Wrap Whelp and Peddle Peddler, or you just get a Dark Gift with that with like +4/+5, or it's such a stupid card. It's such a dumb card. I wonder if it gets changed, but yeah, just play. This is a curve deck. Play on curve, push aggression. You have a bit of late game burst with like Grom and your like enraged location, or maybe even put a Eternal Toil on it, right? So yeah, a mid-range aggressive deck that does really darn well. One of the biggest winners, probably the biggest winner of the buff, was Mage of the recent buffs, where Arkwing Mage is legit top tier, like tier 1, tier 2, where your Arcwing Pilot got buffed to 6, and we had the Ingenious Artificer buffed to 4. So you play Artificer on 4, you can basically play Pilot on 6 or coin it out, and then just spam a bunch of cheap spells and kind of kill your opponent. And if that doesn't do the trick, you can do it again. You got Hataru in there as well that could create a ton of value. And yeah, to save your cheap spells, you could tutor your Draenei with Troubled Mechanic. And I don't know, I might do a gameplay. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you guys want a Sunday gameplay video, or else I'll just take the day off and not do a video on Sunday, because I have something planned for Monday, final reveal streams on Tuesday. But yes, I haven't highlighted this deck at all, and I thought maybe I could do a gameplay video. I was gonna do that for today's video, but I thought let's give you guys decks for the rest of the month. It's always a nice thing to have. And speaking of a nice deck, or a Paladin, which looks like it's getting some nice support, as we saw yesterday with the Paladin reveals, where you have Gelbin of Tomorrow, which could cheat out not only the auras that come with him, but some other really good auras, like Chronological Aura in particular, one that is rotating soon in Crusader's Aura, and your early game, I love you, Wisp, Righteous Protector, and you really want to get either Acceleration Aura or Violet Treasure Guild. If you get one of those two, you got lots of 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s, and 8s to work with. So really effective deck. Just you really need to hit that early game there, or else it can be tough. But Manifest Time Waste can help you recover, as well as Elise, of course, or a Tigress plushie. So there are some options there. Unholy, double Unholy Death Knight still seems to be the Death Knight of choice. It just utilizes Remnant of Rage so freaking well, just like Demon Hunter that we looked at earlier with like Shadows of Yesterday, your Blob of Tar, or just like Elise tokens, right? The 2/1 rushers can help with that. And of course, you've got Maladar to cheat out your 9s and your Giants and all that stuff. Really effective deck. We've talked about it a billion times before, at least different versions. Double Blood used to be preferred. Now it's Double Unholy, and Faloric in there getting you corpses, drawing corpse spending cards. Pretty sweet deck, pretty good deck. And yeah, a lot of that stuff will be rotating in the near future. We also have Copy Druid, which is doing pretty darn well still. Not nearly as popular as some of the top decks, but all built around locations, right? Amir Dristle, Elise, Lady Azara, in particular, they summon a copy of a minion one, and then you really want to copy your locations, which then can copy up a Lolonius, a Stargrazer, and murder your opponent or overwhelm them with like Zilliax and all that stuff. We got Ramp now in here with Acceleration Aura, New Heights, pretty effective deck, somewhat draw dependent on your location stuff, but does pretty darn well. Discover Hunter is back, a lot more popular now that Blackhorn got nerfed and is basically pretty bad now. Blackhorn was pretty bad, honestly, before the nerf. Now it's just unplayable. So yay, I guess. It's a silly card, a polarizing tech card. But yeah, the bad card is now unplayable, and there's still people complaining about it, so you can just never win. And that's coming from Mr. Complainy over here. But yeah, Discover Hunter, you got the Sisters, which are going to be a staple in Hunter until they rotate or get nerfed somehow, because they are just so good. And we saw that new spell coming with it. Could be good. You could discover it with like Illyria. Anyways, you got to know the deal with the Discover Hunter. You can OTK with like Grifta and Neri. You can create crazy boards with like Neri, Mixologist, and like Alien Encounters, Health Buff, and all that. You have Insidious for the late game, get a bunch more burst, clear boards, and of course, you really want Niall. She's really, really good on curve. But again, basically this entire deck is rotating, so please, as I've said multiple times already, don't craft anything unless her name is Elise and she's not even in that deck. And we'll leave off with some rogue decks. Maestro Rogue has seen a considerable amount of play with the recently buffed Maestra Mass Merchant, where you can get a hero card from another class, and the idea is get that hero card, turn into another hero, then Tess will recast rogue spells, including things like Shadow Step or Web of Deception. And if you have your Chrono Daggers in there, effectively it can deal infinite damage if you keep replaying Tess over and over and over. So I will say I'm very happy that Maester did not get buffed until now, because this is such a toxic deck. Same with Arkwing Mage. I'm glad we only had to deal with that for like a month. I feel like even in that month, it's pretty tiresome. So you can see why they held off on buffing a lot of these cards. But yes, Maestro Rogue is a legitimate standard deck, and Imbue Rogue is just fun. Not top tier, but pretty good. And of course, we have the buffed Eudora, which was already seeing play at 5. Still pretty good at 4. Like, it literally doesn't matter what 5 you have in here. Steam Cleaner seems to be the one of choice, because Quest Warrior can be difficult to beat, and also it's Broxagar, so why not? But it's solely there to activate Elise. There's just not really a good 5-drop. The rest remains the same as we've gone over multiple videos, and there's a Demolition Renovator in there. Honestly, I could see just cutting that, put a second Foxy Fraud in there, or a Jagged Edge of Time. But if you really want some location tech, sure. This was the highest win rate list I saw, so I just don't think Demolition Renovator is worth running. But again, if you want to, go for it, and this deck is a ton of fun, and I'm looking forward to adding my Herald Colossus stuff in there next expansion. And next with Wild. So we had the Wild changes to Yacel Druid, to the whole discard Warlock thing, and I think one other change I can't even remember. Regardless, we're gonna go over what the early trending decks are. I feel like this will change. I mean, it's gonna change the deck set anyways, but very aggressive early on. Pirate, Demon Hunter, like the best deck at Diamond through Legend, even at Legend, just pure aggro, right? You know the deal. Get Pirate, Ship's Cannon, deal damage. You can slow your opponent down with mana burn. Very effective deck. Draw cards with Magnifying Glaive. Can get some real damage in there with Kurtrus in the late game. Very effective aggro deck. Libram Paladin has been good forever. Still really good. Nothing changed with that. You have things like Prismatic Beam and Showdown. Always, you just really want to get your Interstellar Star Slicer, Aldor Tenant, get those Librams cheap, and then, yeah, just vomit the board with the Light Rays, and then you could go like Sunsapper Lanessa, slap all those buffs onto something like Chillblade Champion and kill your opponent. Boar Warlock is now, seems to be the Warlock deck of choice. It's either that or the Demon Seed, but I feel like this has been more effective, where you have multiple win cons in here. You can Bat Mask Old Murkai, which just does an incredible amount of damage, or you can also Bat Mask. Of course, you got to combine it with Blood Bloom, Elwyn Boar, fill the board, either Rain of Fire, Plague of Flames, destroy that board, get the Sword of 1,000 Truths, and lock your opponent out. Super toxic deck, and we'll be curious to see if this will be next on the chopping block, or if this one is okay, as it's like literally all stall, draw, healing, and then do the thing, right? It's pretty silly. Pirate Rogue as well, doing really well with the whole Shala thing, where you can Swift Scale Trickster, play like a 1-drop with alongside of it, and then corrupt Shala if you need to. You don't have to corrupt it. And of course, you have Garona in there with the Kingslayers, which basically tutors all this stuff. Hopefully not your patches. Hopefully you haven't drawn that bad that it draws your patches, but really effective rogue deck. Again, very aggressive, but has been doing well for quite some time. And I'll just leave off with the dumb deck. It's silly, but it's fun to turn your brain off and just play some Astral Communion. Hopefully they don't play that freaking card that cheats, catches the mana up with you. I had a turn 1 Astral earlier today into Eonar, and I lost and rage quit my stream because I had one in like 4 hours basically. But yeah, they could do that. But overall, the idea is, yeah, Astral into your late game and just do dumb stuff. You could play big things. It doesn't really matter what you discard because you have so many threats and ways to win, and you just have so much more mana typically on your opponent, and you win that way. So yeah, those are the decks I'll recommend. Again, feel free to share what you would like in the comments down below. And again, do you want an Arkwing Zeddy Sunday video? Do you want that, or should I take the day off and chill with Nova? Let me know in the comments down below, and hopefully these decks help you on your climb. And again, please don't craft anything. There's a balance patch coming in like 10 or so days, and an expansion coming in 17, and we'll have new deck recommendations when all that stuff happens. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day, and stay salty, my friends. Hey everyone, Zeddy here. You know I use HS Replay every single time I load up Hearthstone, and I've been using the Hearthstone deck tracker ever since it launched and never switched. The HS Replay tier list is great to understand how the meta looks like, and I use it all the time to make my deck recommendations, and as well, of course, you know, to figure out what I should be complaining about. The Hearthstone deck tracker is constantly evolving and adding features to help you during your games. It saves your card collection so you know what decks you can build, or perhaps how much dust you need to spend to get it. This is why I can always find the deck for all the modes I play, which is standard, wild, and oh yeah, well, let's not talk about all the other modes that it'd be a twist to talk about anything else. Try the deck tracker today. It's free to download, free to use, and unlike this video, it has no ads. Help me not go baroque.